Ayo, let's spark a match. Today we're going to go back to Wrestlemania 10 in 1994. We're going to look at the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. So, how'd we get there? In late 1993, as I look for the right buds here, in late 1993, on television, Shawn Michaels was stripped of the Intercontinental Championship for not making a title defense in 30 days. But in all actuality, Shawn Michaels was suspended for failing a drug test. So, Shawn was sent home, and Vince McMahon had called him and said, well, you're suspended, which means you will no longer be Intercontinental Champion, so we're going to need you to send that belt back. Shawn Michaels, at the time, being who Shawn Michaels was, told Vince to go fuck himself pretty much and kept the belt. So Vince had to have a new belt made. And there was a battle royal where the last two men in the battle royal would compete for the Intercontinental Championship. The last two men in this battle royal were Razor Ramon and Rick Martel. While my beard is doing this crazy ass thing right now. But oh well, fuck it. But so in late October of 93, Razor Ramon defeats Rick Martel to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Shortly after that, Shawn Michaels' suspension is over, which leads me to wonder, why would they, if his suspension was only that long, why'd they even take the belt off him anyways? Makes no sense. But Shawn comes back and he's got his Intercontinental Championship. So they turn a real life situation, kind of, into storyline. You've got one man who is the recognized Intercontinental Champion and Razor Ramon. But then you got the guy who was the Intercontinental Champion and never lost the belt in Shawn Michaels. Now, this goes on. You got to keep in mind, WrestleMania was in March. All this starts going down in fucking December. So, you kind of got like these little side feuds, like little side quests. Like Razor Ramon goes into the Royal Rumble and goes against Erwin Shyster, Mike Rotunda, and at the Royal Rumble, and Shawn Michaels interferes in that match. So, they keep things like wrestling back then wasn't what it is now. You had like you had Raw that was like an hour on Monday nights, and you had the syndicated TV. So they didn't really have like all the time like they do now. So they could stretch things out longer. Like one week could be focused on one story, and the next week could be focused on a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? And like so. But now they got so much time where you got to kind of cram everything into one fucking show, and it kind of lose the product. That's another conversation for another time. But, so you get like this back and forth going on with, Razor and Shawn for a few months while, Shawn's got some stuff kind of going on with like Bret Hart, kinda. And Razor's got some stuff going on with, Rotunda. But it kind of like the main focus is like all this strife between the two Intercontinental Champions. well, it was in, I think it was, damn, sometime in like 92. See, the ladder match was something that was kind of originated in the Stampede territory in Calgary, Canada. Bret Hart's father. And actually, I have one of the first ladder matches on a DVD over here on the shelf, which was between Bret Hart and Sylvester Ritter in the late 70s. Sylvester Ritter, also known as the Junkyard Dog, uh, which, man, that was kind of archaic. But the way this. So Bret goes to Vince and says, I have this idea for a match. We used to do it in Calgary. It was a ladder match, yada, yada, yada. So, they're at like a random house show one night, and Vince says, okay, go show it to me. So Bret goes to Shawn, and he's like, because he's trying to find like another athlete that's like comparable to him to where it can be like an athletic contest. So he goes to Shawn. He's like, yo, I got this idea for a match, yada, yada, yada. Vince wants to see it. Vince wants to see it in the ring to see if it can be anything. Shawn says, okay, let's go try it. So it's this ladder match. And so Vince sees it. He's like, okay. And files that away for, maybe that's something for a later date. So about a year and a half later, you got like this thing going on with Razor and Shawn. And Vince gets to talking to Pat Patterson. And boom, the ladder match. Now, if you watch a ladder match today, it's nothing but a bunch of fucking high spots, man. And people just doing ridiculous shit. They're kind of passe now. Like, somebody says ladder match now, I don't really get all that excited. Like, the last really good ladder match I think I saw was, honestly, probably Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. That was actually Cody Rhodes' last match in AEW. But, so, like, ladder matches now are really nothing but fucking high spots, man. And just dangerous as fuck. With really no point at all. This is where this ladder match kind of varied a little bit and was different. This was a ladder match that had psychology. Yeah, there were some spots that were off the ladder. Like, Michaels doing the dive off the ladder, which at the time nobody, like... This match was revolutionary, man. It really was. This was a industry-changing match. Like, nobody at the time had like I was talking about, like Steamboat and Savage at WrestleMania 3. Like, nobody in America had seen wrestling like this, man. And like nobody like anywhere had really seen anything like the ladder match at the time. It won the PWI match of the year for that year. And like people like raved about this match for years. Like all the way up until like the Hardys and Edge and Christian at No Mercy. When they had that tag team ladder match. Like until then, this was like, for like 5 or 6 years, this was like the match that was held in like the highest of regards. For real. Like you had the Savage and Steamboat WrestleMania match, and you had this match as like the two matches that were held in like the highest of regards in WWF at the time. Like, if you go back and watch it, there were high spots in this match, but nothing crazy like you see now. Like, the ladder, like every time the ladder was used, it served a purpose. You know what I mean? It's not like now where it was just used as like a fucking high spot, man. Every time Michaels and Ramon used the ladder, there was a purpose behind it. And it came into play 5 minutes after the fact. You know what I mean? Like, They would use the ladder at a spot here, but 5 minutes later, that spot that they used that ladder in would still be relevant instead of it just being a fucking forgotten spot 10 seconds later, man. You know? In a lot of ways, this match was a big positive for wrestling, but in a lot of ways, it was a huge negative. Almost like ECW in a way. Because, like, people will look at ECW and say, oh, it was garbage wrestling, deathmatch wrestling, no, that's not the case. Yes, they had that. That was there. But that's not what they were. There was great wrestling in ECW, man. Like the Guerrero Malenko classics. Those happened in ECW, man. That was great fucking wrestling. Shane Douglas was doing great fucking wrestling in ECW. Rey Mysterio and Psychosis brought fucking Lucha Libre to America through ECW, man. So no, like ECW overall was not a fucking blood and guts promotion, man. I mean, yes, there was that there, and yes, they did go way too far on a lot of shit. But there was good wrestling in ECW, don't get it fucking twisted. But there were negatives to this match. Like, people saw this match, and younger generations were like, oh, we gotta top it, we gotta top it, we gotta top it. And it just became insane spot after insane spot after insane spot, where people were getting hurt, man. And that goes against the whole premise of professional wrestling. Nobody's supposed to get hurt doing this shit, bro. I mean, it's gonna happen. I mean, because it's not fucking ballet. People are going to get hurt through accidents. But, bro, you're doing shit that is just fucking nonsensical, man. You're doing shit to protagonize those fucking injuries, dude. Like, for real. But, like, okay, that's just me on a soapbox of, like, goddamn, wrestling needs to be the way it used to be. I'm fucking old, give me a break, and I like a certain style of wrestling. I know shit progresses, I understand this. But, like, y'all taking shit too far these days, man. I watch some of this shit now, and it's like, dude, somebody's going to die doing this shit one day. It's gonna fucking happen. But okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox and get back to this shit. I haven't even taken the fucking weed out of the grinder yet, man. I haven't even started rolling. What the fuck is wrong with me today, man? I haven't made a video in like a week and a half, though, for real. Or like a real video in like a week and a half. I've been dealing with this depression shit, and I'm gonna keep it real. I mean, look, man, a lot of people say, like, oh, men can't talk about this, men can't talk about that. Bullshit. If you're depressed, say something, bro. I've been dealing with this depression thing for like the last fucking week. And like, I'm forcing myself to do this video now. But, I'm glad I am, because I'm going to feel better after I do it. So yeah, if you're depressed, man, it's okay to be depressed, man. It really is. Don't let society fool you into thinking that you're a man and you can't be depressed. You gotta pull yourself up and just do. No, bro. If you're depressed, you're depressed. There ain't nothing wrong with that shit. If you need to cry, cry. There ain't nothing wrong with it. But this was just a phenomenal fucking match from start to fucking finish. Before I went off on that fucking tangent, I just have no idea what the fuck I went off on. But there was great fucking psychology in this match, man. Go back, check it out. Like, it still holds up today. Go watch it. WrestleMania 10. Shawn Michaels. Razor fucking Ramon Scott Hall. Probably one of the most underrated fucking workers to ever fucking live. People see Scott Hall and they just think, the whole NWO, hey, yo, flick a toothpick gimmick. No. Scott Hall was a great fucking worker, man. That dude was a wrestling genius. He's the dude that came up with the character change for Sting. That was Scott Hall. When Sting went from Surfer Sting to Crow Sting, yeah, that was Scott Hall, yo. Scott Hall came up with that shit. Don't disrespect the name of Scott Hall. That dude was a fucking genius. But he had demons, man. We all do. But the early 90s was a funny time for wrestling, man, because it was coming out of that generation of, Hulk Hogan and all that shit where it was character based. And people were getting tired of it, but they didn't. But wrestling was at a spot where it didn't really know where it was going, and it was trying to figure itself out in like the early and mid 90s. And this match went a long way in helping wrestling figure out where it was going, man. It really did. This match opened a lot of eyes on what, like, hey, this is what it can be. And granted, it kind of goes a little too far now, like I said, but shit's got to change. It does. And this match was a big fucking catalyst in that change. So for real, we're going to finish rolling up this joint right here. And we're going to go back. And we're going to go check out the ladder match between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon from WrestleMania 10. Spark this bad boy up. Let's go watch some wrestling. Y'all have a good night, man. I'll holler at y'all on the flip.